What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Beezy Money, episode number 10. Man, I got a big special guest in the building tonight. I've been a big fan of this guy for a long time, Nick Meck. You've never lost. You're 10-0 overall competition, 3-0 as a professional. You're just getting started, man. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you guys for having me here.
Yes, sir. And shout out to producer Darcy. He's been here before, and we always appreciate you, Darce.
Yes,
always.
sir.
You have this wrestling pedigree. I think you wrestled at like York University. You see it in a lot of your fights, you know? Like you take guys down, you hold them there, ground and pound them. Like you can finish fights, and a little bit of submissions coming on too. The thing is, like, you keep growing, you keep getting better, and I think that's the scariest part of you. But I guess we'll start with like the wrestling. You wrestled at York College, is that correct?
Yep. I wrestled at York College, and then I wrestled JUCO at Northeastern Oklahoma. And then I wrestled my last year D2 at Fort Hays University.
Okay, and then does that would you say that's your basis when it comes to MMA?
Yeah, I would say wrestling is my strong point.
Is that kind of what got you into MMA? You see it now a lot of the time. Like MMA, a lot of people have that wrestling base now. And is that you got so good at wrestling to the point you've been doing it for so long that, you know, this is why you got into MMA essentially, because you have that base? Or do you like to strike?
I would say a lot of it's the wrestling, and then I love to compete. So I think that's another reason why I'm still doing this. I like to compete, and the biggest thing about competing, like, there's no better feeling of competing, man. Just everything, the build up before you're walking out, and just competing in general. You just get this feeling, man, like you're about to go out and go get it. So like, I think I like the feeling of it. And the biggest thing I like to compete is like, cause like, my mom and dad play a big part in when I compete, because they've taken me everywhere with them, like wrestling tournaments since I was a kid. So like a lot of that, I like to compete for them because, they enjoy watching me compete. So I think that's the biggest reason why I like doing what I'm doing, honestly.
That's really cool when you get to see like your parents just watching you and stuff, showing out. Like, do they like watching you fight?
Yeah, they do. My mom at first didn't want me to do this, but she actually likes it now. Like, she
really?
Actually, yeah. I remember one time she wanted to let us watch UFC, and then like my mom sat down and watched it, and then she's like, "Oh, it's not so bad." So like,
there's definitely an art to it, you know.
Yeah.
It's definitely beautiful if you are watching it. So
yeah.
So she likes it now.
Yeah. So, but I think the biggest thing is my whole family just likes to see me compete. They just, there's
nothing like it, honestly. Especially in MMA, like watching someone you love go into the unknown. Like, seriously, it's got to be like a crazy experience, but like, you're pretty good at it so far. So, I mean, Nick, the first MMA event I ever went to, you were fighting Michael Banks. You were an amateur.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
This is what made me become a fan of you. I don't know if it was like this, like obviously your fighting style and stuff, but something like gravitated me towards you. And one of the reasons I got into like MMA media and stuff is you got to finish in the first round, and then you yawned, and then you took a nap in the middle of the cage.
Yeah.
And then in your last fight against Dallas Jennings in the second round, we just watched it, picked him up, saw the camera, like not premeditated at all.
No,
you
sir.
said it, but you smiled at the camera. You're just a natural kind of showman. I think that's kind of what drew me to you and what made me a fan initially. And I'm still a big fan, like, to this day. Can't wait to like watch the rest of your career grow. But where does that come from? Where does this like showmanship in the moment? Where do you think the spark is? That's kind of tough, but
I think the spark comes from like, I think it comes from, I think, a lot from just wrestling when I was a kid. So like, you get athletes who are just freaks, man. Like, they just do the unnatural. And as a kid, I could do a lot of things like you couldn't explain. I remember as a kid, some kid shot in on my leg. And I jumped over him and like turned around and took him down. Like, I couldn't explain what happened, but like, I think a lot of that comes from just athletic, unnatural ability I have. Like, my awareness, like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Like, I see things people don't see, or like, obviously the cameras I didn't know. Like, obviously I knew they were there, but I knew like the ratio of that to happen is like 1,000 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
But like, just I think my awareness ability is just off the charts, man, and people don't realize it. So I think a lot of that just comes from that, dude. Just instinct, dude. Everything's off of instinct, dude. Everything I do.
It's natural. It's like that's why I say you're like a natural like performer. So have you done stuff like that in wrestling before? Like anything like that? Or once you got into the MMA cage, you started to...
I did that a lot in wrestling. Like, I remember I would jump over people. I would do cartwheels to take people down, doubles. Like, I'll do... someone grab my arm, I'll spin, do a 360 and take them down. Like, it didn't matter, dude. Like, people will lift my leg up from their shot, and I'll just do a flip and roll in and take them down. Like, just funky, man. Like, it didn't matter what it was, dude. Just...
Well, that's why people got to watch you fight, right? Because, like, you don't know what Nick Meck's going to do, like, in the moment. Like, do you think that? Or, like, because you can't premeditate something like that, right?
No. I definitely know you're going to be entertained if you watch me. It's definitely like a question mark. It's going to be crazy. Like, I'll do some crazy stuff. Like, definitely have to think it through before I do it. But I'll definitely do something that you're like, wow, like, how'd you do that? And I'll be like, I don't know. I can't really tell you. It just happened.
And that was your latest fight. You're 3-0 now. That was Dallas Jennings. He's a 4-2 guy. Like, you look down your list of guys you fought, they're all pretty talented. They're all, like, pretty good fighters. A lot of them are pros now. And what do you think about, like, your resume to this point? You've taken tough fights, and you've also beaten a lot of tough guys, never taken a loss. But what do you think about your competition so far?
I think my competition, it's been tough, man. Like, a lot of these guys that step in front of me, I have mutual respect from, man, because it takes a lot to step in the octagon and punch each other and kick each other, man. Like, I have respect for all my opponents, and I think everyone's tough. And to me, it's just another body in my way, honestly. I don't think too much of it. I just kind of think about how much work I put in and how much my family is here to watch me compete. So I think about those only things. My family's here to watch me compete, and all the work I put in behind it. So like, yeah, I put a lot of work in. I don't know. I just feel like I have to get the W. I put all that work in, and my teammates put the work into me. So I had to come out with the W. Like, that's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah, you do put in a lot of work, and we'll talk about, like, you're a grinder, dude. Like, you work really hard. From what I can tell, I'm not around you all the time, but I feel like, you know, you're just a natural kind of grinder. I have a question about that, but I want to ask you about Rayvon Baxter. He's a good fighter too, as well. For like 4-4 going into that fight. A lot of maybe the most experienced guy you fought to that point. You got him out of there with a Kimura. Like, how, and that just shows that you're kind of growing too. You're gaining more tools and stuff. How did you find that Kimura submission with a striker like Rayvon Baxter?
So, me and Trey Ogden at OP, me and him have a talk. We had a talk about what things I need to work on in the jiu-jitsu ground game, and we saw a Kimura is a thing I'm really good at, and I end up there 90% of the time because of my wrestling. So we talked about before this fight, he's like, I want you to take him down and put him in Kimura. The point was never to strike with him. The point was to finish him in the Kimura, to get the feel of hitting someone in the Kimura, because it's like, once you do it once, it gets easier. And then he tells me every time, you're not getting paid by the minute, so you might as well get these guys out. So, like, yeah, that was me and Trey's game plan. And after that, I think I built a lot of confidence in, like, my jiu-jitsu ground game, which I'm still exploring for new attacks, man, because I feel like this game, you just got to keep adding on, man. What's your belt? I'm a blue belt right now. So
you just got the blue belt, right?
Yeah.
Like, recently?
Yeah. I was kind of crazy. I was like, oh, wow, I'm blue belt now. So,
you're in the
like,
jiu-jitsu game
this is
now.
really happening.
That's crazy. I think the thing is, like, with your game, you have a natural progression. Like, you see yourself getting better from each fight to each fight. How much, like, do you think you're naturally growing and evolving in this game and just following the process, getting better slowly?
Yeah. I think my fights explain themselves. I think each fight, as you say, I get better and better. I'm always doing something different. Like I feel like this last fight I started opening up my hands a little more. I wanted to put them away, but I got the W, and I think the biggest thing is I can go back and watch video and just keep adding on, dude. I think every fight I get in, I'll get better each time.
Do you like those 15-minute kind of fights where you get tired and stuff, or
no? I don't like those. Like, I have the cardio to go that long, but if I can end it fast, I'll end it fast. But I definitely work out to the point where I won't have to be like, oh no, I don't have the cardio to go all these rounds. I always make sure, like, I prepare like I'm always going to be in a dogfight. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, it don't matter.
What was your toughest fight to date, you think? I have a guess, but
I would say my toughest fight, I think Jennings. I think this last two was
okay.
Jennings. Yeah, he's 18-3 as an amateur. Like, he's good. Like, I think he might be a purple belt. I remember talking to him afterwards, and he said he coaches at his own gym, so he teaches his students. So he might be a black belt. I don't know, but I know he had really good jits, so it's kind of hard to put the ground pound on him because he kept tying my arms up, and he knew what to do from the bottom. So I think he was my toughest for right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be tough with a black belt on the ground. Like, you want to take him down, you want to hold him there, but he's threatening submissions, and then you got to stand with him and stuff. So,
and he has good defense. I mean, I think a lot of it just kept him safe. And I think another thing is too, I'm jumping up in competition. Like, I'm not getting like no 0-2.
You're not going backward at this.
That's
point.
What I'm saying. I'm not getting no 0-2 guys, 0-3 guys. I'm jumping up where guys are either like 4-4 or 4-2. Like, I'm jumping up the line. So a lot of it too is I'm getting hard competition right away, honestly. So
my guess was going to be maybe like James Regina. I think that was the only split
I
decision.
think he was my toughest AMI one.
Yeah,
that's my toughest AMI one.
And you got the ground and pound off. Like, that was another entertaining fight.
Yeah,
you're just throwing.
That was a good fight to see what I really need to work on and just opening up my hands more and being on my feet. So yeah, that was a good fight. When did
you decide you wanted to go pro? Because you've rattled off these three pretty quickly. You're already 3-0. It seems like you didn't become a pro, too long ago.
Yeah, I think after my last fight in Oklahoma when I got the title,
that's right. Mm-hmm.
I decided like I wanted to go pro because like cutting weight's not fun. I think it makes it a little better when you're getting paid for cutting weight. And just like, I feel like if I'm going to put all that time and effort and like you say, I'm always killing myself. I'm always doing extra, man. Even if I'm not at practice, I'm always doing extra. Like, I feel like I should be rewarded. And I feel like hitting the pro stats is rewarding because each fight I win, I feel like I put work to each one, and I get a relief out of it because like, I mean, I worked hard for these wins, man. Like, every win I get, I work hard for them, man. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think I overwork, honestly, to the point where I almost hurt myself. But that's just how bad I want to win. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that was my next point. One thing that sticks out to me is, like, the hunger. You run, like, what? How many miles a day do you run? Do you think average? Because do you run every day? 7-8 miles?
I used to. Actually, before my junior year at York, that summer before All-American, I was running 7 miles every day, bro. Like, every day. Like, I was to the point where I was sprinting it. Like I was getting, like, runner's high, dude. Like, I was running that every day. Now, because I'm getting older, I still run it as much as I can, man. I usually run it, like, Sundays and Saturdays every weekends before my fights. So I stay in pretty good shape.
And it doesn't seem like this has been around, but you run with your mouthpiece in.
Oh yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like people don't understand. Like, I really, like, when I want to win, like, I want to win. Like, I'll do things that people aren't doing. Like, because I know there's not too many people running with 7 miles with their mouthpiece in and doing it consistently. Like, that's one thing about me is like,
it's just smart.
Yeah,
I feel like you're running with your mouthpiece in.
Yeah.
Have it in, does it make it harder to breathe, or you think that helps you out a lot?
To me, it doesn't bother me because I've been doing it so long. But it does challenge you to keep your mouthpiece in because I think I try to play everything in my head like a real fight would happen. Like, if I can run 7 miles, I feel like I could win a fight because there's no one. I don't think anyone, unless like you're like Nate Diaz and you run marathons, like there's no one really doing that, you know? Or like it's like almost like wrestling, like in wrestling you don't get breaks. You know what I mean? They get like what 20-second breaks in MMA. Wrestling you don't get breaks, dude. You like the only time you get maybe you get the little coin flip or you get a nose. Like if you get a nosebleed, you might get a minute. But when you get the coin flip, you only get like 10 seconds. Like go again, yeah. And that's what people don't understand. Like wrestling, you're going. Like that's like if you're overweight and you're a 125 pounder and you just made weight after running, you're up in like 10 minutes, dude, ready to wrestle. Like you gotta be ready to wrestle after you just got done cutting all the weight.
It's gotta be a terrible feeling.
Like that's the mentality I bring because I know a lot of people aren't working that way. Like it doesn't bother me, man. It doesn't.
Do you like that part of it, the grind? Or do you like that like feeling of I'm not there yet?
Yeah, I like it. I like that feeling because it makes me more hungry just to get, because I know I have the potential to be really good. I believe I have the potential to be in the UFC one day and be top 10, man. Like if I play my cards right and just be patient and not rush pro fights and just trying to get into the UFC fast, I think if I play my cards right, I'll be fine, dude. I think, like I said, like I would like to get 9 to 12 pro fights. I mean, that's almost what 22 fights, like
total before you get into the UFC.
22 fights. I think by then I'll be ready, man. Like, it's not a sprint, it's a jog, man. People who sprint, it's like tortoise in the hare, man. The tortoise wins, the hare doesn't. You know what I mean? So
that's true. It's like, so I was gonna ask, like, realistically, how many do you think? If let's say you come out, you keep your undefeated streak, how many do you think you'll get that recognition from the UFC? How many more wins? How many more finishes?
Honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't know because I don't know what the future holds, man. Like, I take it one fight at a time, but I know, like, if I keep winning, obviously they're gonna keep their eyes on me. So I'm just focused on every fight at a time, man, because that's all I can really control, man. Like, I don't want to cut corners. I want to do it right. So, because I want to be in the UFC for a long time, not make a quick exit and then have to fight my way back into the UFC. Because it's easy to get there, but it's also easy to leave. So, and I've been doing my homework and watching, man. Like, people are making a quick exit to leave the UFC. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many tough fights. Every fight's tough in the UFC. So once you get there, you go 0-2 against really tough dudes. You might have one fight left.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe sometimes it's even 2. So you're already thinking, like, that far down the line, like, but you're like, I got to stick around once I get there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm in no rush, dude. Like you were saying, you see the potential. Why rush it, man? Why rush my potential when I can make it blossom, dude? Like when that time comes, like there's no point. I don't see a point, man, right now, because I already know I got what it takes. It's just putting everything together.
You're 27 right now. At what age would you like to be in the UFC?
Probably around like
going well.
29, 30, right around there. But I mean, more that's just whenever I'm ready, dude. Like just whenever everything starts to click, how I see it clicking, I think that will determine when I'm ready to go, honestly.
That's crazy. And do you have anything lined up right now? Next fight or anything?
So my manager, Robert Carver, give a shout out to him. He does a nice job hooking me up. Yeah.
Manages a couple of different fighters, right?
He has a couple people under
good manager.
Under his
tutelage.
Team. Yeah, under his team, yeah. Yeah, give a shout out to him, and one more I want to give out a shout out to Coach Parks too. Yeah, he's one of my other cornermen, like I have in my corner, and he used to be my old high school wrestling coach at Shawnee Heights, and he's just an OG, man. Like when he walks in there, it's just like you have no point. Like it's like I gotta win now. Like he's here, like you gotta win. It's like you have your hype man, you gotta win, but he's so calm and collective.
It's pretty yoked too, isn't it?
Yeah, he always stays working out. Like there's never a time. I think he works out in his sleep. Honestly, to be honest, I don't know, but now yeah. So he's definitely another one. He's gonna be following me all the way up whenever I get to the UFC, and I'm really excited about. So
bringing these people with you.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think right now I have lined up. We'll see what's saying. I might go the Fury route because they've been
Fury Fighting Championship.
yes, sir.
Texas.
They hit me up and they want to get me on their card. So I'm really stoked about that because I want to stay active, man. I just want to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. I can go on and on. I just want to stay busy, man. I just want to stay busy. I want to learn and get better and stay busy at the same time.
You think you like that traveling aspect to your fighting styles? Because, like, what's the farthest you've traveled? Oklahoma or something for a fight?
For a fight, yeah, Oklahoma.
But
That's
in
the
college,
farthest.
you probably traveled.
We travel all over the place. It doesn't bother me.
Mhm.
Like, cutting weight's, like, obviously a little different than, but it's cutting weight in general. But
Is it harder when you're traveling?
yeah, I think it stinks. It's kind of I think it's a little harder when you're cutting weight and traveling, but
Makes sense.
I think it's good exposure to travel. You get your name out there more. Plus they have UFC Fight Pass, so it's gonna be good. So it's gonna be worth it. Honestly, I think. I think it's good exposure. It gets you ready because in UFC you have to travel all the time. So I think it's better to travel. Make it realistic. It's better to travel honestly. So.
Yeah. Have you heard anything about May 6th FAC at all? Or
Not that I know of, man. Like, I would love to be on there, but, I just go wherever someone gives me the opportunity, man. I'm not picky, man. Like I said, I just want to fight. It doesn't matter where it is, dude.
you don't have there's no names in mind? Like, people just, your manager, Robert Carver, will come up to you and say,
Robert
here.
and Trey take care of that. They look at the people that they want me to fight, and they'll look at the list of them, and they'll watch video, and then they'll pick out someone for me to fight, and then they just hit me up. All I need is a date and an address. That's about it.
I like that. Fury Fighting Championship. Nick
Yes,
Meck,
sir.
maybe?
Yes, sir. I'm
That'd be
looking forward
crazy.
to it. I think it's going to happen.
Is there any, you like signed, are you waiting for any sort of deal or anything like that?
So we're waiting on like contract deals and
Mhm.
all that. So it might be like maybe a 3-fight type of deal or something. I'll just sign a 3-fight contract and go that way. Or I'm supposed to find out this week, so I'm pretty excited about that because
Yeah, if we can't put it out till then, no worries, Like,
yeah.
cute shot. But I don't. Fury is, you got Mana Martinez
Yeah, there's some tough dudes.
came
in there,
out
man.
of there. I think a lot more, like Anthony Romero just came to Kansas City. And then that's one thing we didn't really talk about is like you're training with Trey Ogden, James Krause, Glory MMA, kind of in the fold with all these guys here.
Mhm.
What's it been like since you started with Trey? Really, that's your head coach,
Yeah.
and then going over to Lee Summit every once in a while with James Krause in the summers. Really,
It's been amazing, man. I think I've gotten 20 times better. Trey's definitely helped me get the confidence behind my jits game and my stand-up game. He's helped me a lot. And definitely the guys at Overland Park I train with, like Zach Scrogden, Alex Lima, Steven Mason. The list goes on. Like, dude, like it's crazy. There's a lot of studs in Overland Park, man. And going over to Lee Summit, this is crazy, man. There's just studs everywhere you look. Like, you turn your back, there's someone there, over there. Like, it's crazy. The room, the vibe. James Krause, dude, like, dude is just a wizard at this game, man. And it's just like, it's definitely a serious vibe, man. Like, it's just a blessing to be there, dude. Honestly, to just work with the guys and have them talk to you about their experience and just to get better, working out with those guys at Lee Summit, man. Just a bunch of dogs up there, dude.
it's one of the best places in the world, I feel like. And then Trey, when he used to fight for Fury, we talked about that too. Like, he could tell you probably better than anyone what it's like with that one fight deal, getting into the UFC. How happy were you when Trey got that contract?
It was good. I mean, I was really happy for him. Honestly, he's put in the work. It's been a long time coming, man. Like, sometimes you gotta be patient sometimes because not everything goes the way you want. But like, he deserves every moment, every bit of what's coming to him, man. He's put the work in and in and out, man. He doesn't ever stop working. I don't know if he ever sleeps either. I mean, he's another one, man. Like,
Workaholic, like,
yeah. He definitely deserves everything coming to him, man. I was happy for him, dude. He deserves it.
Yeah, and you'll be up there soon, 3-0 right now. Do they have a date? I don't know if you said it. Is there a date? I know you want to fight every week.
Something like maybe the end of April, like towards the end of April.
That's soon.
So
That's very soon.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to fight, bro. I don't care, man. Like, that's one thing about me. Like, I'm always ready to go. Just because of wrestling, I'm so used to the grind, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You're just doing it every day. You're going to tournaments every day. And, like, to me, it's like, it's just another day in the office, dude. Like, it doesn't matter.
I had David Onama in here last week, and he said, I can make weight if I don't get any hurt, if I don't get hurt in my fight. Like, I want to fight next week. I want to fight, like, 2 weeks from now. Like, you share that kind of mentality, like, every week.
Yeah.
If you can, you're able to.
I think, yeah, and David, he's been doing this for a long time, dude. And his work, obviously, you've seen it starting to show. Like, dude, that dude just got, what, 50 G's?
50, and the dude missed weight, so he got 30%.
So he made really good money. Like, I feel like when you start seeing yourself being successful, you want more of that because you put the work in, you put the time in. Now you want to go chase what you deserve, man. So, yeah, I respect David's grind, dude. Like, I look up to it because that's how I feel, dude. Like, when you put the work in, obviously you want to get paid. I want to get paid.
What if the UFC comes to you, you say 6-0, 7-0, they say, we'd like for you to fight on the Contender Series. What's your response?
If it's Contender Series, I would say yes. I would like, yeah. I would no doubt, yeah, I would say yes. But
if it's short notice, maybe not.
If it's short notice, it would just depend on who the opponent is, because sometimes you gotta watch out for that. They'll try to set you up with someone you have no business like fighting, dude. So it'll just have to depend on that.
That's true.
If I would say no, it's okay. I would wait it's only just a matter of time, man. Like, there's no need to rush into something and lose and take 9 steps back. So it would just depend on what the opportunity was, honestly.
It's true. It's a crazy game, and a game you haven't lost in yet. So
yeah,
hopefully we keep that rolling. Nick, I really appreciate you. Been a fan for a long time coming in. Now at this part of the interview, I like to give you my final 2 questions, kind of random. Really got nothing to do with MMA or anything like that. So, but I just want to say thank you for coming in. Thank you, Darcy, for producing. So my first question is, what do you think about Jorge Masvidal? This is a little bit in the news today. Jorge Masvidal attacking Colby Covington at a steak restaurant. What do you think about that? Like, did you watch it? Do you stay in the MMA news?
I watched a little bit of it. A lot of it, I think, they just don't like each other, honestly. But I think, like, Colby said some personal things, and I mean, Masvidal has been known to say personal things, and I just like I was saying, you just gotta be careful what you say, man, because it comes all full circle, man. So honestly, my opinion, I don't think anybody's in the wrong, because everybody just talks. Everyone just chirps at each other. So it's just like, that's bound to happen. So I think just the moral lesson, just be careful what you say, man, honestly.
Do you think he was set up?
I don't know all about that, man. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me, but I mean, it wouldn't, yeah.
I think it's just the Nelk boys put Colby Covington on their story. Yeah. And
he probably
Masvidal knew where that was.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. And then apparently he came up with a mask on and just punched him twice, knocked his tooth out, and then made a video and put it on the internet so people knew it was him, even though they might not have known it was him if he didn't put that video out. So that's kind of crazy.
Masvidal, that doesn't surprise me. He's pretty... When he says something, he's going to do it. So
that's true.
It doesn't surprise me.
He's an OG in this game, too. It's like there's so many. Is there any fighters you look up to? You like watching?
I like watching Kamaru Usman, and I like watching Colby Covington because their style is just similar to mine, man. And they're just fun to watch, man. They're just fun, dude. You
could definitely see the similarities.
Yeah.
It's like, you like watching 170 more than anything else?
I usually watch my weight class because to me it doesn't make sense to watch 185ers when I'm not fighting any 185ers. Like,
so you're 170 throughout. That's you.
I usually just watch my weight class, man.
Any like anyone else at 170? It's a stacked division. It's a really good.
It is. I think Kazmat's gonna be really good, but then again, I haven't seen him actually fighting one. So this one with Gilbert and him will, I think, prove that where he's at. I think he should fight Colby after that too, just to make sure, because like he hasn't really fought anyone really good and like at all in the top 5. All the guys he's smashed were, I think, one-sided, honestly. So I think he should fight like 2 guys like Gilbert and Colby. That's where you see where he's at. I think after that, give him a shot, dude. Honestly,
because Kamaru's doing it.
Yeah,
like he's been really performing too, and he's Kazmat's a huge favorite in that Gilbert fight, which is kind of crazy. Do you bet? You sports bet at all?
Not really.
No.
But honestly, I could see it go both ways, man. Because Gilbert's slick with the jiu-jitsu, and I think the only thing would get Gilbert is his reach, man. He doesn't do well against guys who are long, dude. Just because Usman dropped him with that jab and people with long arms, he doesn't seem like Dan Hooker knocked him out too. So I don't know. Long people is not really.
It's true. He's down at Sanford MMA now. That's like one of the craziest gyms.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the best gyms besides I Gotta Go Glory, obviously. But
yes, sir.
My final question for you, Nick, is there, and this has been very controversial on the internet lately, but are there more wheels or doors in the world? Is that the question, right, Darcy? What? Why? What's the answer?
Can I say both?
No.
Okay, then wheels.
See, I don't know. That's why I asked the question, Darce. But I don't know.
I would say. I'm about to say wheels. I feel like cars. Cause you gotta like.
Yeah, but like cabinets, there's doors. Like.
Whoa.
That's a door. A cabinet is like a door.
Oh. Yeah.
But there's wheels like if you open a drawer.
Oh, I thought we were talking about car wheels.
Like I know, but you can take it deeper too. Like.
Oh, okay. When you put it like that, yeah.
There's.
So can I still say both?
No, because there's got to be more of one than the other.
But that's a lot. If you're adding cabinets, I mean, that's a lot.
I know, but you're counting like trash cans have wheels. Everything has wheels. So
there would probably be more wheels than was it doors?
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously,
that's the thing.
More wheels than probably doors. Then.
Okay, Nick's going wheels. Any final words you want to say before we go tonight? Again, I really appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me here, man. It's been awesome, dude.
I'm gonna go doors. So
it's the doors.
I'm gonna go doors. Nick, I'm a big fan, dude. I can't wait to watch your career prosper. I can't wait for your next fight. If Fury is what's next, then I can't wait for that. I'm definitely tuning in every Fight Pass when they're on, and just the continued growth. I wish you continued growth, continued success, and this MMA journey you're on, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. So I'm along for the ride. Thank you all for tuning in for episode number 10.
Yes, sir.
Beezy Money will be back next week with another guest.